Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our penultimate bout of the evening. This for the LFC Light Heavyweight Amateur Mixed Martial Arts title over three-minute rounds of action. Would you welcome into the cage, Matthew Nicholson. And would you now welcome to the cage, Luke Trainer. This is for the LFC Light Heavyweight Amateur Mixed Martial Arts title over three-minute rounds of action. And in the blue corner, he weighed in at 200 pounds even. He represents the Hornets Gym, Matthew Nicholson. And his opponent across the cage in the red corner. He weighed in at 204 pounds even. He represents Team Titan, Luke Trainer. Your referee in charge, Mr. Sam Amidi. Our penultimate bout of this evening, the light heavyweight amateur title over 3-3s. Matthew Nicholson from the Hornets Gym against Luke Trainer with big support here from Team Titan, and we can see that Luke will be certainly the taller man, Dean.
Yeah, Luke stands 6'5" and has a very long reach. He's got great movement as well, uses the jab in high volumes.
That said, nice change of distance there for Matthew Nicholson and landed a left hand. And then they go to ground after the left hand of Nicholson landed.
Interesting to see Luke on the bottom because he's used to working from the top position and proceeding to submissions from there. So he's going to have to work out of this position, looking to retain guard there, Malcolm. Looking for the 100%. He's going to lock down on that shoulder. He could try to sneak his right leg over for the triangle or perhaps work the omoplata. Could be going for the go-go plata here. What he's got to do is clear the foot round and get it underneath the chin of Matthew Nicholson.
So you said you would expect to see him work well from top position, but he's not doing bad from his back there, Dean.
He's did a great job of controlling the posture. Yeah, he's going for the go-go. What he's going to do is try and slip his shin underneath the throat of his counterpart in Matthew and pull down on the head.
And this all came, if you remember, from the left hand of Matthew Nicholson as he closed the gap very well upright. But has been having problems since, and huge support here, as you can hear, for Luke Traynor in the red corner.
Matthew's a very tough guy. It's going to be difficult to submit him unless this submission is fully on, but he looks like he's sinking his arms out. He's got to be careful of leaving his arms in this equation.
How long do you think Luke would look for? I was just about to say, how long do you think he would look for this position?
Now he's going back to the rubber guard. He's just really looking to control the posture of Matthew. And he is actively nullifying the punching game here of Matthew. He's keeping the head down so he can't posture up. So Matthew, what he needs to do is, they call it crossing the border. So what he's going to do is move his head to the opposite side of the lock. There we go, yeah, pulls his arm out beautifully. Now start to work some ground and pound. He's got to be careful, again, of not sitting his head too far forward and falling into that position again.
Yes, he's got to utilise the benefits when he can.
Luke looking for the triangle. He's trying to skip his left triangle, got over the head. What he's got to do now is figure four. He's locked it up. He's going to move the arm across, and he's going to look to try and pull down on the head and squeeze his knees together. Mounted triangle here, Malcolm. This is dangerous.
Oh, and now the ground and pound as well. Matthew looked to skip clear, but you can hear the crowd's response. These knows these are dangerous times.
He's looking to lever the arm up. Hammer fists are raining down. The referee is looking on.
Sam Nameedi's close. He's seen enough, Dean. He's seen enough. He transitioned from submission to ground and pound when he saw the opportunity, yes?
That might have been the end of the round, Malcolm. The crowd was so loud because they recognised that mounted triangle position was very dangerous for Matthew. And I believe the crowd actually were louder than the round timer, yeah.
So let's get this straight, guys. This fight is not over. It was dangerously close to being over, and Matthew Nicholson was literally saved by the bell there.
Yeah, that should be added to the dictionary under Saved by the Bell, because that was close. And it's interesting to hear the crowd here, very educated crowd here at the LFC, knowing that Matthew was in trouble from that mounted triangle position, and Luke was free to rain the hammer fist down.
So as referee Sam Nameedi just wipes down the canvas, we're ready for round 2 of potential 3. And what can Matthew Nicholson do now here in the second round to bring this back round? Dangerous times for him at the end of the first. The bell literally coming just in time for him. How will he turn this about now?
Matthew's working the legs. He's going to work these kicks, but he's got to be careful not to get taken down. Nice head movement there, slip to rear leg kick.
Yes, let's see what he can do, because as I said, I was really impressed with the way he closed the gap and landed the left hook in the very short period of time we had an upright engagement in the opening round.
Matthew is well-rounded, and he's very tough to put away, as we said, but he's had a year and a half out, so he could have some ring rust here to shake off, Malcolm.
Yes, and you can see the size distance. He's being chased by Luke, who's throwing out the left hooks and then finally ties his man up.
Luke looking for the teep. He's doing a great job of keeping that distance. He's got that lead hand out there. He wants to, oi, that was close off the mark. He's got to be careful about leaving his head stationary.
Yeah, the toe clipped the eye there. You could see him wipe the sweat away from the eye and blink. And again, I like the speed of technique of Matthew Nicholson. Chopping at the lead leg of Luke. It's a good tactic against the taller man.
Luke's landing those uppercuts. They caught that kick. Some nice head movement there. Swinging overhand right. Luke might be hurt. He backed up against the cage.
And that second right came close. That was missing by a whisker there as well. As I said, deceptive speed to Matthew Nicholson when he comes forward.
Nicholson walking around with his hands down. Very dangerous. He's to make sure he keeps his hands up.
A knee attempt there from Luke Traynor. It was not fully convincing there. The second knee was in the clinch.
See Luke now working the knees. He decides to break away, but he's eating the hooks from Matthew.
And as I said, Dean, I've been impressed with Matthew's hand speed. That right hand again there, just showing what I'm on about. And while it's up, oh, a slip from Luke Traynor. Will Matthew Nicholson make him pay for this?
Now that was unfortunate. Luke Traynor was doing a great job of maintaining that distance and trying to evade the heavy right hand of Matthew, but we see him again in this position. He's going to look to control the posture, put his hand over the top of the head, and he'll work that 100% grip. Looking, he might be trying to set up a triangle. When he's forcing the right arm down with his left hand through that gap, he'll look to skip his leg over the head. But Matthew, again, a great all-rounder. He sensed that was coming and postured up.
Looks for side control here, Matthew. And round two certainly be far better for him, hasn't it, Dean?
Now he's in a dominant position. The side control position is very grave. And we haven't seen much of Luke Traynor's ground game from the bottom in a disadvantageous position.
Well, we're not going to see it now either in the second round, but we said, what has Matthew Nicholson got for round two? And actually the answer was a lot. It was a much better round for him, wasn't it?
I'd like to see Matthew learn from that and start to work the takedowns and end up on top in a favourable position. And by favourable, I don't mean in the guard of Luke Traynor. I mean side control, north-south, or even the full mount.
And upright, I must say, I've been impressed, as you said, with his head movement and his speed of movement, his hand speed for the punching as well. Very dangerous opponent upright. And I feel now, on my unofficial scorecard, I don't know about yours, Dean, possibly one round apiece.
Very difficult to call. I never usually like to call on what the judges are saying, but I agree with you there, Malcolm.
So third and final round, the light heavyweight LFC title at stake. And it's delicately balanced at the moment. Both men having really good moments across these opening two rounds.
Matthew did a great job of hammering away at that lead leg. He's trying to take the spring and the power away from the striking game of Luke Traynor.
Well, also, he's seen how effective from his back Luke's been with those legs, hasn't he?
Luke dopped him for the shot. He gets a double on hooks, turns the corner, ends up on top. Now, this is where he comes to fruit, Malcolm. When he's on top, he does damage, likes to proceed to submissions from the side control position.
And again, for the size of the man, very fast into that transition now. And as you said, it's taken till round three for him to get the first opportunity, and then it's reversed, and you can listen to Matthew Nicholson's fans as Nicholson reversed that position.
That was a perfectly timed Upa sweep there from Matthew Nicholson. I was just about to say, Luke Traynor's dangerous from that position, and he looks for the head and arm triangle, but again, we see him on his back, and it's exactly where Matthew Nicholson wants him. He wants to be passing those legs. He wants to grab one of the legs, avoid the up kicks, and matador pass to one side and obtain side control. Interestingly, let him sit up there.
Well, he's been, I said again, with the way he slips and punches back, he's been very effective upright, Matthew Nicholson.
Nicholson doing a great job of circling, but he ate a stiff jab there.
And a front teep kick, and there's a lot of blood now. That was from the teep kick to the face, and suddenly Luke Traynor smells the blood, and oh, that's leaking heavily, Dean. That is leaking heavily. Sam Hamidi wants this seen to. Yeah, it's a vicious cut. It was from the teep kick.
Yeah, that lands straight on the mark, and Luke Traynor smelt blood quite literally, and it forced Matthew Nicholson to engage in the takedown. So they're going to get a check here of the cut. It does look quite bad, Malcolm.
It was from the punch-kick combination, and it opened up immediately, Dean. And when the adrenaline's flowing naturally anyway, that blood pumps straight out. It's all over. The cut has ended it. I mean, like the warrior is, Matthew Nicholson is heartbroken, but if you can't close that cut, you can't close it. And it was from legitimate strikes as well, Dean.
Fighter safety paramount here in the LFC. If that blood trickles into the face, the fighter cannot see. If you cannot see, you cannot fight effectively. And you by cause, you sustain more damage. But an absolute war put on display from Luke Traynor and Matthew Nicholson here at the LFC.
Ladies and gentlemen, obviously a lot of emotion here in this cage, but we have had to stop the fight officially due to the cut. So your new LFC Light Heavyweight Champion is from the red corner, Luke Trainer.
Let's get word of you, Luke. Now that was a hard-fought fight. Up to that the stoppage from the cut, were you surprised how fast Matt passed the side control on top?
Yeah, his jiu-jitsu was wicked, his stand-up was good. I give it up to him, man. Thank you for the fight, Matt. I'm sorry about the cut, dude. This shit happened. So, yeah, it's been a year and a half for me, so it's a bit of ring rust. Next time I'll be back and hopefully a little bit cleaner. But, yeah, I got a W, so that's all I care about right now. But, yeah, thank you, everyone, for coming, and peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, your light heavyweight champ, Luke Trainer.